Pascal Meier. I'm playing floorball as a goalkeeper, already 30 years old. And currently I'm living in Zurich, really close to the airport here. I think the first 9 years I was living in a different place, not in Canton Zurich. It's called Canton Aargau. But then we moved into Kloten, which is really where the airport is here in Zurich. And Kloten is known as a city with a big ice hockey club. Unfortunately, they're right now in the second highest league, but back into those years, they were in the highest league. They had also some success there. So all the kids, they really love to do sport here. So I was forced also to play with them some floorball on the street, which was, it was really super nice. Always when the weather was okay. Even though when it was a little bit rainy, so all the kids went out, we took our sticks and played some street floorball. This was actually a really nice thing. So all of them were really addicted to sports. So I started to play as well floorball, but on the other side, I also played football. I loved more to play football than floorball, so I practiced three times football and just once with the club floorball because all my friends were playing floorball. And for me, it was always clear at this point of my life when I need to decide what I should do, I will play football and stop with playing floorball. Somehow, it was not that decision because right at that point of my life when I needed to decide what I should do, I felt more like, yeah, let's play floorball, because even though I had more success in football and almost no success in floorball, I decided to join my friends and play some more floorball. I don't know why, but at the end, I'm really happy about this decision. A lot of my friends, they were playing for the under 17 team. It's more like not national, it's more like the bigger part of Zurich. I wasn't in this team, but one Saturday morning, I think at 8 o'clock, the coach called me because one goalkeeper injured himself. So he wanted me that I'm coming for a practice with 3 other goalies to see if there is a spot for the third place in this team. And I said, yeah, of course, I'm coming, and so on. Then I think the second goalkeeper, I managed to make it into the team. And somehow, I don't know, because at this point of my life, I had no clue about floorball. I didn't know about anything, who is the best player and so on. So I was just having fun there. And somehow then a big tournament, I think I don't know if this was in January or in May, but in this big tournament, I managed to play good. So the under 19 coach wanted me in some more games, and I started the first game, the second game, also the third game. I didn't know why, but yeah. And at the end of this tournament, he wanted to talk to me. And then all my friends realized, well, this is now really big. Now you're playing against other countries and so on. And I still had no clue. And there in the first year, I had it really tough because, of course, I was more into soccer or football. And at this point, when I felt like, okay, this is now not so easy, I need to practice more if I want to get better. At this point, I really told myself, okay, this is something that I really want to do. And I practiced as hard as possible, probably more than all the others at my age. So I practiced like every day, almost twice, and invested a lot of time and so on. And in the first months, as it is, I still was not that good as I wanted to be. But at the end of this road with the under 19 team, I think it paid off with the all-star team there, and I played a really good world championship. So, but still, I had my goal to win a world championship with Switzerland. So I'm still working on that. Full support from my family and friends, and this is really important. Of course, from other friends that are not that deep into sport, they first start to drink and maybe do some other stuff that is not really helpful if you want to be a pro. And for me, this was never a problem because I was that addicted to sport that, usually I'm not that guy that are really long into clubs and drinking a lot and has a hangover the day after. So I was more into, I don't know, it was never a problem that some other guys are having fun with some other stuff. Of course, they are saying stuff like, but at the end of the day, you will never earn that much money with floorball and so on. But I'm not doing it because of the money. I really like the feeling when you have success. And then it's not that moment when you're having success, it's more, and this is the way how to get there, that everything paid off. And this is, I think, from my point of view, much better than having a really nice evening at the club. You know, I had a goal, and this goal is, normally I don't talk about my goals. Of course, I can talk about my goal, would like to win the World Championship, or that I want to be Swiss champion and so on. But then you have also personal goals. And usually if you're talking about your personal goals and they're really high, then the other people's might misunderstand it, or it could be a little bit arrogant. So, but to have these personal goals pushed me because I really wanted to achieve high goals. And I just remember once during this time in the 19 team when I was talking to the coach, because we had such a feedback paper. And once I told him there, I would like to be the number one goalie, of course, in the under 19 team. And I also want to be selected or elected to the all-star team. But at this point, this was also a little bit strange, even for me, because I felt like I need to work as hard as possible to just be in the team, but then also to be the best in the team and to be the best this time in the world was really strange. But if you have high goals, then I don't know. It really pushed me to train as much as possible. I had luck because there I was working, they gave me 1 week more vacation. And then it's everything about planning your days. So I had just working days, and at the evening it was practice, so there was no time for anything else. Of course, my friends, they sometimes, I think they understood it, but not always, or not all. So also separate your friends. Then you have just your friends that supports you. They think you're doing it right, and the others that maybe goes another way. But this is life. So I think I managed it quite well. So I still had my I was quite good at school then, so this helps also, because if you would be bad, then maybe the parents will tell you that something needs to change. But I managed it quite well, and this is also something that helps me right now. Also, when I have a little bit more experience in my job, and so that you just need to have a good timetable with everything, also with family, sport, job, and so on. So this is something that you learn, and this is also something that I do, even though when I'm now a little bit older. I don't know, actually nothing, because so far I would do everything again the same way as I did. I never felt that I need to give up something. It is more like, sport is hopefully it is a really big part. I don't know if it is number one, but I have several number ones. So it's not to give up something, it's more to invest. And this also helps me, let's say before a big game or big games, to just remind myself what I have done during the time before to reach this goal, and that it is not a pressure, that it should just be a nice feeling now to stay here and to just play. And then it helps also when you just remind yourself what you have done to just reach this goal, or this game, or these games, whatever. I think it really helps that I always have the feeling that others are better. And this is something that for example, in big games, then you need to stop thinking like that. But during all the other days, it helps you, because I always have the feeling others are doing more, others are doing it better, and so on. So this helps me to push myself, because yeah, as I told you, if you have personal goals that are really high, then you know, okay, I need also to do a little bit more, a little bit better, and so on. And you start thinking, what could I improve, what others don't do now, and so on. So this pushes me really high, really hard. And then also the big goals that I have. So as I told you, still my goal is to win the World Championship with Switzerland. If I imagine that, I get goosebumps and everything. So because the feeling, or just to imagine that I could be the first guy with my team to win this tournament with Switzerland, this is I can't describe this feeling. So this is something that really pushes me. And then, of course, I really hate to lose. I think you can all ask all my friends. It doesn't matter if it's a card game or if we play golf, floorball, whatever. I always want to win. And yeah, this is also something that pushes me. And if I lose, then I really think, oh, shit, where have I lost this game, and what could I improve, and so on. So this is just a typical me. So not always nice, I guess so, but yeah, this is me. Yes, this is so. So also when I was younger, I liked to play with the older guys, because they had better physical there, of course, because they were older. And also now, and this really helps me. Also now when we have like the summer practice where we do a lot for our body, I am, as a goalkeeper, I need a little bit different muscles and different stuff, but I still really like to compare myself to the players. Like when we go running, of course, they need to be better than I need to be, but still I want to compare with them. And yeah, like we had a test yesterday and so on there, I also like to do some trash talk and tell them, hey guys, when I'm better than you, and so on. So this is something that I really like. And yeah, so it helps to compare myself with other guys. And also, or usually with players or with persons that are better in something than I am, then this really helps to improve. So you know that this is not your limit, you can be better. Usually, no. I had once a hard time not that long ago, when I felt like I'm missing kind of my motivation. But it was not the feeling to give up. It was more a challenge how to get the feeling back that I really want to improve, that I want to practice as hard as possible. During this time, it was more like, I know I need to practice now, so I'm practicing. But it was not with the same motivation, and like it was not a joy, or I haven't enjoyed this times. I knew that I need to practice, so I practices. But yeah, I think if you enjoy what you're doing, then you're also practicing better. So this was kind of a hard time for me, and I need to figure out why this is like it is and how I can manage to get out of it. But I had never the feeling to just give up. It is more like finding a solution how to get out of it. And usually, I think this is also a good thing if you have hard times, because usually you get better out of it. So I'm a really positive guy in everything, even if we lose a really hard game that you just wanted to win. Let's say an hour or 2 hours after it, I see some positive effects out of it. This is also something probably that helps me to stay motivated and so on, and to get better all the time, or try at least. Probably never to rest, and always wants to improve himself, even though you're at a really high level, or you had just success and so on. And then also to have or take the risk to change you. At some point you think, now everything is good, and I'm playing really good and so on. But for me, right at this point, you need also to start thinking, what could I change to get even better, even though everything is working fine now. And this is also a risk, because you could start doing something that doesn't help you, or that makes you playing better or whatever. So, but to taking this risk, I think can make you great out of good. And yeah, but this is a risk. This is also then investing a lot of time again to just first then reach the level that you had, but then to make another step to get better. And this is not always easy, especially if you have not that many persons that are understanding you, or like in floorball, we don't have that much money that you have 2 goalkeepers. I don't know how many goalkeepers a football team has. They're just working with you or maybe another guy. So a lot in floorball, a lot of our improvements is in my head. And then of course I have some persons that I could talk to, but yeah, they have also other jobs and other things to do. So yeah, you know what I mean. So I think this is the difference between great and good, to always invest what you have and risk it to get a little bit more out of it that you have right now. This is a good question, because as we all work, we practice in the evening. But usually I would say it's around, let's say 4 o'clock, and not too early in the morning. So 10 o'clock is also fine. So if I could choose 2 times, I would practice between 10 to 12, and then from 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock or something. So you have a free evening to just rest. And in the morning, you have enough time to drink a coffee and eat breakfast and so on. Actually, if we have some challenges, like sometimes during the practice, we have challenges who needs to do something then after the practice and so on. This is really something that pushes me, because I like those challenges. But also, as older as I get, I'm enjoying more the time than after the practice, when we can sit in the locker room and we are just discuss whatever we discuss, but just to be with the boys. Now this is really hard due to COVID, and we can't live it that way as we lived it before. But this is something that I recognized as older as I get. I'm enjoying more this time also in the locker room. And this is, I don't know if someone is not doing a sport with other guys. I don't know if you can imagine that, but yeah, it's something that is just super nice, and gives you a kind of a special feeling that, yeah, we are a team, and we have it nice. And usually there's stuff that you never talk with guys from your job. It's more, yeah, of course we see it every day, each other. So yeah, you get more known, or you know more each other. Yeah, first warm-up came in mind, but actually I'm really jealous to the players, because they just take their shoes and the stick, and then they are ready. I always need to wear a lot of stuff to just be ready for practice. So this is something that I'm really jealous. So yeah, if I could change something, then I would be really happy if I just could, I don't know, say a special word, and then I'm ready for the goal, and don't take 10 minutes to get the stuff on me. So this is yeah, something that I'm not hating it, but I'm jealous that yeah, I need to invest more time to be ready for a floorball practice. Yes, I do. I have, if I look to my right side, I have like now 3 books here. And I have one really good book, which I got back in, I don't know, from one goalkeeper coach that I had. I have read this book like 5, 6 times and marked all the important stuff for me. Then had also luck to work together with some mental coaches. Also back in the years when I played in Sweden, I think this one was a really good mental coach, even though in the beginning I didn't know what he wants from me and why we are doing this stuff. But after some time I recognized it. So for me, this is a really important Training, yeah, it is a training. Because at some point you can be as good as possible, but if you don't manage to bring it during the games that it is necessary, then it doesn't help. So I'm practicing, not a lot. Of course, you practice more the body and the skills, but I'm practicing the mental things, and But this is also something that usually you don't talk about it, because some players or some players, they don't think it's really helpful or necessary because I'm just good and so on. But maybe it's also a little bit different because I'm a goalkeeper, and to be a goalkeeper is hero or zero. There is nothing in between. So yes, that's why probably we have also more pressure on our backs. Yes, I think so. Even though if they think, I need to be like, I don't need that deep focus and so on, still I think the mental training could help you. Maybe it's going well in a normal game, but when it comes to bigger games or important games, I think the mental training will help you. And so I think all the players, they should practice it. I have never heard from a big sportsman like Roger Federer, Nadal, or whatever they called, or Tiger Woods, that they don't do mental trainings. So if the biggest sportsman needs mental training, then I think also that our players need it. I'm working every day almost, but I'm really flexible with my work time. So I just can, when we have practice at 3 o'clock, then I just can leave earlier. So I'm not working 100%. Currently, I'm working 80%. So I'm flexible for all the practices that are necessary or that I would like to do. And so that means I'm working during this time. I'm not practicing. Usually the practice is at the evening, but right now we managed to have the practice a little bit earlier so that we have free evenings also for recovery and so on. So this is going quite well, and this is also something that Swiss Unihockey supports us right now, as those guys that are in the military, they can have like more free days instead of going to the military. Unfortunately, I'm not in this program because I decided to do it the other way around, and it's called Zivildienst. I don't know if this is a known name, but there, I decided, because there I was during that time when I needed to decide. I know that I can go home every evening for practice and so on. This was not clear during this during this time in military, But I have a really good company that stays behind me, that supports us. As Claudio Lely is also working there. He's also from the national team. And if I need something, then I always get free time for my sport. But the other way around, I'm working a little bit less to really invest this time in floorball. And I try really to practice as to be part of the practices of the team, and then the other practices that I do beside of the team, I can do it in the morning before start working and so on, or after lunch and so on. This helps me. Would be different if I would be like a bus driver. There I can't say I'm coming 30 minutes later. Of course, I had several coaches, and I think all of them, they had an effect. So now I'm playing in Grasshopper Club Zürich, where the coach there is also part of the national team. So, and since I'm playing a little bit longer in GC, Grasshopper Club, I know him quite well. But for example, for this year, I decided that I need some external inputs. And so I tried to find kind of a goalie coach, which I guess I found him. And now we just need to figure out how we work together. Is it more like on technical stuff, or mental, or could it be combined, and so on? So for me, it is always important to get feedback from someone outside of the team. And this also should be really critical. I recognize during this time when you're in the national team and you are also playing good in the club and so on, then the critical feedback stops from the team. And this is something, in the beginning, this is okay because everything is going well and so on. But also those players that are like maybe a little bit better than the others in the team or are playing in the national team or coming back from Sweden, also those players can do some stuff that are not that good. And then it needs some other guys that gives you feedback about this. So I try to find some persons around me. So one is like a separate, let's say, goalie coach, which I found. And then, of course, I have Luan and also always a good discussion with David from the national team. He's really open-minded and he gives you straight out feedback. He sends us also videos and shares his thoughts. And even though when he says, I'm not that into the goalkeepers, but maybe you can do something with these informations or maybe try this and so on. So we had also there some topics that we once needs to practice during a national team camp and so on. And then I have, let's say in the background, some, I don't know if it's called coaches, but like mental coach. Yeah, it is. Or maybe I have two. Then some physical stuff and so on that I'm just, doing by myself and no one knows from them, from the team or from the coaches. This is just something that I recognize that it helps me, and if needed, then I call them and we do whatever we need to do. So this is also like a personal investment that is also not paid by someone. So this is something that I do. I think it's more important to have a good relationship with your teammates. If you think you're accepted in the team or loved in the team, whatever, then I think you're able to play on your best level. The coach, and vice versa, it doesn't help. If the coach really likes you and you feel you have the trust from him and so on, but the team doesn't trust you, then it's not possible. So the team is more important than the coach. Of course, it helps when you know the coach has trust in you and he knows what you can do. Also, when you had a bad game or two bad games, whatever, this helps you. But the team is more important to play on your best level. This is something that I recognized during my time in Sweden, because there, another language, you don't understand them. You're sitting in the locker room. Now we're back in this story, in the locker room, and all of them are laughing and you don't understand anything. So you sit there and you think, should I just laugh because everyone is laughing, or should I just be quiet and be the strange guy and so on? So this was in the beginning a little bit strange. So I was really motivated to learn Swedish, to be part of the team. And I think as soon as I was like in the team, because I was more into the Swedish language and so on, I started to play better. Maybe this is different for other players, but for me, it's really like that. If I feel comfortable in the team, then I can play my best floorball. And the coach is always a little bit separated. Of course, you need to like your coach. Hopefully he also likes you, but I think the team is more important. Tactics, I don't know. This is the first word that came into mind, but it's tactics, yes. This is also maybe because I mentioned before David and Luan is from my current club. So I think they're really good into tactics. But it could also be, maybe if I compare it when I was younger, kind of a mentor that helps you to practice that way that you should, and helps you to get the best out of you. Maybe when you're now a little bit older, you're searching for some other stuff, like good tactics that supports you and so on. So I don't know why, but maybe because I mentioned before Luan and David. Actually, I don't know, because it doesn't matter if I'm 18 years old and the first time in practice, or if I'm now 30 years old and I had several seasons in the highest league. For me, it still counts when the coach says something. Then it is like that. When he decides to take me out, or when he decides that I'm not playing, then I respect his decision, and I'm trying to do everything for the team. So no hard feelings there. So I have never faced a hard feeling with coaches, because I respect them, and they say what we should do, and I trust them that they want to do the best for the team. But maybe what came to mind was back in 2014 during the World Championship in Gothenburg. There we played the semi. We had a really hard tournament, and then in the semi-final we faced Sweden. And I was practicing as hell during the last 2 years there to just still reach our goal there. And they took me out after 19 minutes something, so just right before the first break. And it felt like, for me, it felt like they just wanted to show the crowd, yeah, we need to change something, and we take out Pascal. In my opinion, we could have waited a little bit more. Now, this is also, this felt really hard, but I was never angry to the coaches. It was just the situation that makes me angry. Right now, I can't say you if this story is also like it is, but in my mind, it was like that. But I used this for several years to get some extra motivation for practicing. Maybe they have also waited until the break was, I don't know, but I was telling me this story so many times to get this extra motivation that, it really helped to practicing hard as possible. So I'm not really sure if this story is 100% correct, but in my head it is. But yeah, to go back to your question, actually, I have never a hard time with a coach. As for me, they are in the highest, not league, but situation of the team, and what they decide, this is correct one. And I just try to support the coaches and take the team with the coaches. In every this is hard, because I would expect always more. And maybe as a goalkeeper right now, you're like, sometimes you are your own coach. But I would expect more in like in every part of my game, in physical, in skills, in mental, and so on. So, but I would, this is a hard question. I would probably start with, no, I can't say, because in all the extra practices I'm there as well. Maybe it's more skills related that I would expect more, like the movements and so that could be improved. But actually, I don't know if the coaches see that or if it's just in my mind. But if I would need to say something, then I would expect more in skill related stuff that I would like to improve. Or like something, what I would like to practice is to can do the splits with the legs. So but there are many things in my mind that I would like to improve. I don't know if I have realized that yet. I know in my mind, I know that I can prepare myself that good that when it really counts, I'm there. Usually I like the tournaments, because then you have the time to get into it. I like this more right now than just one single game. But I was working on that as well, also last year. But as I told you in the beginning, normally I have the feeling that others are better, and I just need to work and so on. So maybe I will recognize it at the end of my career when I'm looking at some statistics or whatever. But right now I don't have yes, of course, I have the feeling that I'm good, but I don't have the feeling that I'm really good, or that I could compare with to be always the best. I know that I can go a little bit up during those time that it is this time that is necessary. But from my point of view, there are players that are having a higher level all the time, and I'm just trying to reach it, maybe to get a little bit more out of it then. But yeah, but this is maybe just in my mind. I don't know. Maybe others should answer this, but I never think about those stuff, because in my mind there are just things that I would like to improve. And at the end of the career, I can think about that. This is also something that I don't like to talk about what I have achieved or whatever, because I think as soon as I start to think about those things, I stop being better, or yeah, because then you invest energy for stuff that was in the past. This is maybe a mental problem that I have, but for me, it just counts what is next, what is next, what is next. And yeah, maybe when it, then I take the time to think about all the things that I have achieved. Of course, I would say the last game in the semifinal against Sweden, because it was, yeah, you know, you want to go always, or you want to achieve or reach the flow. And I had it from the beginning. This was a super nice feeling, but actually I don't know the game. I know some situations, but what is more in my head is the crowd. Because I was, now this is again the mental stuff. I heard the Swedish crowd behind me, but I changed it. I always understood Meier instead of Sverige. I don't know why, but this is something that is still in my mind, and it was just a nice feeling to know that, yes, all the mental books and the work that I did there helped me in such a game to feel better. And so this was something that I really liked during this game, even though it was not part of the game, but this is something that I still remember. And yeah, unfortunately we lost this game, so this is something that I would like to change. But this was a really nice feeling, and because as I said, this is not a success of winning something, but this was a success of my work that I did, because I worked for that, and there it paid off. And of course, it was also nice to win the first Swiss championship here when I moved back from Sweden to Zurich. To achieve this goal with a club that has never won before Swiss championship was all really nice. At, let's say, the last 5 seconds, when you know the game is still on, but we have won it. This was maybe those 5 seconds were the best. Probably nothing, because as I said you before, if something happens that is or is not going that way that I would like to have it, this gives you just some extra motivation, or it happens for a reason. So of course I would like to win all the finals that we have played and lost and so on. But yeah, maybe one. Yes, I have one situation. As I mentioned to you before, back in 2014 in Gothenburg, there were I was exchanged after, let's say, 20 minutes. I had really no motivation to play then the small final. But I missed the energy there, and we lost this game with 4-3, I guess so. And it was like, yeah, but I still had pain, or I was still frustrated from the day before. And this is something that I regret, because this was a new day, new opportunity, at least to win a medal. Not a lot of players have the chance to win a world championship medal in floorball. So this is something that I told me after this tournament, this never happens again. And yes, we had in 2016 and 18 again the chance to win the bronze medal, and we did it. But this was really an important experience that I made, also to help my teammates there, to tell them that this is even though if we lost this game today, tomorrow is a new day, and we know that, yeah, of course we would like to play the final, but yeah, we can't change it right now. So we just need to make sure that we win this game today, and everything else is important the day after. But first we need to make sure to win the medal. This is something that I regret, that I was, at least it felt for me, it was not 100% of me there on the pitch. I would, of course, improve my style there. Skill-based. Because, yeah, everything that you learn when you're during 14, 15 years old, then it's super easy to learn. When you're 26, 7 years old and you have done it for more than 10 years, then it's super hard to change it. So I would give myself some feedback about the skills, so I would have it easier right now. And then I would have, maybe I would have invested earlier more time. Stop playing football and and start earlier with floorball and practicing more there. So it's then also a little bit easier. This is maybe that I would tell myself. This is an easy question. I would like to win the World Championship with Switzerland. This is a really big goal that I have. And then, of course, still have the fun to play floorball as long as possible. Because this is also something that I recognized. As soon as I'm really enjoying playing floorball, my performance is also much better than when I'm just sitting there and trying my best. So yeah, to have success with the national team, but also with my club, and to have fun as long as possible. Probably for sure I will not go to a lower team and play there because for that I'm a competition guy, and if the beer after the practice or after the game is more important, this is not me. So I don't know what I will do. Probably first I will do a break from floorball, and then I don't know if something is coming up where I could help youngers or so. But what I like to do is when they're at camp with kids, I like to give them some advice. This is something that I really enjoy, because when you look at the eyes of those kids, this is something special. I don't know, it's really hard to describe, but this is, yeah, this is more than to get, I don't know, money or food or whatever. This is something that pays off. This is a really nice feeling. So in case I could imagine to help kids, but I don't know, maybe I also start doing another sport or whatever, to see how far I could go in or could improve myself in another sport. Probably, this is a good question. Of course, Roger Federer would be too easy. All of the guys would name Roger. Of course, this would be super nice. But I'm thinking more about Henrik Lundqvist. It's okay, goalie. This would be super nice to, yeah, at least to just have a chat with him and discuss some stuff. This would be super nice. I think I would choose him. How much time we have left? I have I have a lot. I'm not using all of them before every game or practice, but so it depends more how I feel. Sometimes you're super or you're a little bit tired, or you're super pushed and you want to start the game right now, and so on. And there I have yeah, some tools to help me to get in that shape that I should be before the game or when the game starts. So I have a lot of tools that helps me. Of course, I practice them all the time, and I get some new tools during a season and so on. So right now, I think I have a quite big list to help me to get in the best shape until the game starts. Some of them are visible to watch a game. For example, I'm always touching my posts before the game starts, and I'm saying some words and so on, and others are not visible, or I'm doing them at home, or just in the locker room and so on. So, but I have a lot of tools. Movie or series? Yeah, I've actually, there are a lot of good series. So White Collar is something that I really enjoyed to watch. Yeah, Breaking Bad was not that bad. Suits and so on. So yeah, and of course Game of Thrones. This was also something that I enjoyed watching. Oh, I don't have a favorite song because this changes from time to time. So I don't think so. I have a favorite song. I'm also not that deep into music, because for me music is just for some days, weeks, and then it changes again. And it doesn't matter if it is. I'm also not. If you would ask me what kind of genre I would listen to, then I can't say to you, because It's really. I'm listening almost to everything. This is a good question. I have a lot of good apps. Probably Instagram. Then Forza Football to see the football results. And yeah, WhatsApp right now. Dogs. Hard. I had cats, so maybe I was once dreaming to have a dog, but it's a lot of work, so maybe cats. Let's say dogs. Oh, hot. I like summer. I like to be on the beach. This is more my kind of way I would like to spend my free time. Boring. For me, it would be chess. Of course, I know it. I played it also a little bit, and it's when you're playing it, then it's not that boring. But watching it is super boring. I would like to see what's happening 10 seconds before. So it would make it really easy for me to save the balls when I exactly know what is happening. Probably a cat. This was something that this was something that I heard during my junior time, that they called me the cat in the goal because I was jumping a lot, and maybe also a little bit from the position, how I played, or I'm still playing. So yeah, maybe a cat. They are also smart, I think so. So sounds not too bad. Yeah, usually when when I was in the States, they don't understand Pascal, and I think also Pascal sounds really not nice when in Germany. It's I don't know. I don't like it when they pronounce my name. So I would change it too, because then in the States I started to call myself Sean. This is a common name there, and they know it. So when I was at Starbucks, it was always Sean has ordered the coffee. So maybe I should change it to Sean. But I don't know. This was just a joke. But yeah, this is something that I still know, that I needed to change my name there because they don't understand Pascal. Still happy, even though that I'm not practicing and playing floorball on the highest level. I'm a little bit afraid that there could be some kind of I don't know, not motivation problem, but yeah, right now floorball is that big part of my life that I don't know how I handle it when I'm quitting this, and hopefully I find something else that fills me with joy as a floorball does right now. Yeah, guys, just enjoy what you're doing. And yeah, I think when you enjoy and you really work hard for your dreams, you can reach them. Of course, there always can happen something, but even though if there is happening something, I think you can learn a lot from this. Also then later on your job or on your private situation and so on. So just enjoy what you do, work hard as possible. And yeah, don't be shy to ask for help if needed. So I think there are a lot of good guys around you, and not only the coaches that are helping you or they would like to help you, could also be your teammate and so on. So yeah, just do whatever you like to do, and it will help you and will be a success in one or the other way.